Move over, kids. It's Halloween time, and I figured we would do a Halloween special. And oh man, look at this bad boy. The original Link costume from the Ben Cooper line in the 80s. Look at how ugly and terrifying this thing is, and it only gets better because you need to see the whole costume. I actually put my child in the costume, and it was glorious in all the wrong ways. But we'll talk about that at the end. What I want to talk about now is just basically anything that has to do with Halloween and Zelda. Let's just spotlight everything in honor of October. First off, it's Halloween, so we gotta talk costumes. The costumes you have is Zelda herself. This is a great costume. I think very high quality and looks pretty cool. I've seen people in pictures on Instagram, especially the world record holder of Zelda memorabilia. She looks great in it. People tend to look really good in this costume. There's also a Breath of the Wild Zelda costume. You know, that blue kind of, I don't know, horse rider costume. I don't know what I would call it. However, I was not able to get my hands on one in time for Halloween. I ordered it, but it was out of stock, and now I'm going to get it like this November 2nd or something like that. There's also other costumes, and you have a bunch of Skyward Sword Link costumes. I have the child and the adult one right here, and they will also have the ability to buy like the ears and the wig separately, but here are the actual costumes, adult and child. There's also a Twilight Princess one I just saw today that actually goes for a little bit pricier. And there is the Breath of the Wild Link costume as well. This will come with ears and a functional belt pouch. The bow and arrow and the accessories are sold separate. Here is a plastic shield. You have straps on to hold it like this, and it's just a plastic shield. I highly recommend actually not getting this. I get it, when you are doing a costume, you kind of want to, have the whole kit and caboodle. But if you're a child, well, for one, this is a pretty big shield for a child. And if you're an adult, well, it's cool when you walk into the party, but after a while, it starts to get a little cumbersome and you're going to just drop it, and the plastic is fairly cheap. If you must have a shield, I recommend getting the backpack, the Hylian Shield backpack. Yeah, it's going to have straps and it'll lose some of the effect, but this bad boy, you can just put on your back and not have to worry about it, and then you have the effect of having the whole costume. Plus, there's another plus side to this I'll tell you in a second, because what would Link be without his sword? Now, you have a couple options. There is an actual sword as well. It's pretty cheap plastic. I don't have it here. Again, it was one of the items that was kind of pushed to November 2nd, but I actually have other swords in my possession. First off, you have an 8-bit sword that came out a while ago. This would be great for a little kid, or pretty much if you're just a nerd and this is going to be like, you walk in with an 8-bit sword. That's kind of cool. When I say you're kind of a nerd, I meant that in the best way possible. You take this to a nerd party and people will geek out. Here is actually a very high quality, I don't know what you'd call it, a foam sword. It can hurt someone, but not to the point that it's actually going to cut them. And this sword is the Master Sword, a role-playing Master Sword. You get it at ThinkGeek or GameStops. It is a very high-quality sword. My 6-year-old and 4-year-old love to play with it. It is a little big for the 4-year-old, so again, you might want to just go for one of these 8-bit swords, a ThinkGeek GameStop exclusive. But if you're an adult going to a party, this Hylian Shield comes into play because there's an actual spot for it to go into. So now you can actually have your sword and your shield, and midway through the party, you just whip out the sword whenever you feel like it, and now it's a really cool costume set. Backing up to this dude has a bow and arrow. Now, you could buy two kinds of bow and arrows for this. Here is the World of Nintendo bow and arrow. This is a very cool looking package, but that's about it. It retails for $20, $25. I recommend not opening this one if you're going to get it, because it is very cheap. It is very cheap. Look at this bow and arrow. My kids we play rough with our toys, but we were able to break this in like 3 or 4 days. It is not worth getting to play with. I know some people like to open their goods and whatnot, but this one's just not worth it. Just keep it in the package. Don't bust it out because it's small and just lame. If you're a kid doing Halloween, well, you'd rather just hold your bag. Only cool for about 5 or 10 minutes. It does not shoot worth crap. And if you're an adult, you just look dumb holding this small little bow and arrow. To be fair though, there's an actual costume bow and arrow. It's still a toy, and it's pretty much just a bigger version of this. It is bigger. You still kind of have that problem. It's just cumbersome. You're in an adult party. You want to hold a beverage. This is not worth it. Just get the Master Sword and the shield I talked about. Granted, if you are Breath of the Wild Link, the shield that he usually carries around is this one right here. Again, it's on Think Geek. So just get it off Think Geek. It's the shield and it's a backpack, same concept. However, the Hylian shield is available in Breath of the Wild, so it wouldn't necessarily be breaking canon or jumping timelines. The Hylian shield is in the castle. Now let's talk other stuff. Let's talk Zelda Halloween decorations, because there are some. Going to the 80s, you can get this. This is the Mario version, but on the other side, you have old school Link from Zelda number 2, The Adventures of Link. And you would just plaster these bad boys right on your window, so when people came, I don't know why this would scare anyone. Now that costume, that Halloween mask from the 80s, yeah, that's scary, but this is just like, what are they trying to do here? I don't know. And look at this, smaller versions of the same thing. I don't really know what these are for. It's 10 self-stick Halloween shapes. I assume this is maybe for, I don't know, I guess your folders at school or your locker, or maybe it's an invitation, but it's really just, I don't know. They were having some weird merchandise out in the 80s. It's the same exact artwork on the things that you can see. Before we talk candy, let's talk 2DS, 3DS. There is currently, right now in 2018, a Halloween Zelda theme available for your 2DS, 3DS display menu. If you have platinum points, you can download it for free, and I guess you just have to get platinum points because there's no other way to download it except right there. See that code? Well, that is a free giveaway. First person to enter that into their 2DS or 3DS gets a free Zelda Halloween theme. Please comment below when you have claimed it. Now let's get to the best part of Halloween, and that of course is the candy. Now there isn't a lot of Zelda candy out there, but there is some. First off, you have a Pez knockoff, a Click. But something like this is not going to be really given out unless you are the super coolest rich people in the neighborhood. So I highly doubt candy like this will be given out. Nobody wants mints, and this is also a tin, so this would be extremely rare to be given out. There was some bubble candy in the shape of Link and Mario in the 80s as well, but again, this would be a little too costly. This would be the equivalent of a king-size Snicker bars, and you know, that is just very rare to be given out. And you know, if it is being given out, that's the house that gets hit up 2 or 3 times by the same people, you know, once with the mask, once without the mask, train masks, so you have different masks with different costumes. So those are things that are probably not going to happen. Now, maybe you'd have been lucky and got some Zelda fruit snacks, you know, like a pouch here, a pouch there. That would have been a possibility back in the 80s, but more than likely, you would get this right here. If someone was going to give anything out, it would probably be this candy right here. This is the smallest piece of individually wrapped candy that I could find, and it is pretty much just a Topps bubble gum. This did not come with the Topps Zelda Mario Punch-Out series because I have a box of that. Nowhere was this found, so this must have been a separately sold thing of just individual packets of bubble gum. This would have probably been your Zelda candy if it was to be given out. Maybe you would get lucky and someone would buy a pack of temporary tattoos and you would get a Zelda tattoo. But that's pretty much what I could find in regards to what people would have given out in the 80s for Halloween Zelda related. Now, with all that said and done, let's get to my favorite ugliest Zelda thing of all time. And It is the most epic Ben Cooper costume to ever exist, and that is Link from Zelda, The Legend of Zelda. Look at this thing. This is the box it came in. It's pretty standard. The only thing that makes this box different than any other box is the top will actually say Link on it. And the bottom will as well. The only contents in here are the mask and the actual suit piece. I actually had my kid put it on. Can you imagine some kid going house to house? Like, what is that? That is like the chubbiest, most tan Link I've ever seen. It's terrifying for a whole nother reason. Look at that mask. Oh my gosh. I heard that the Halloween character, Michael Myers, that is a mask of William Shatner's face. Well, they missed an opportunity to find something even scarier. If they had grabbed this mask of Link from the Ben Cooper line, man, that would have, oh my gosh. I would be having nightmares. Just the thought of it makes me have nightmares. My kid's a trooper, right? He did not, he was like, when can we stop? I was like, just a little more, buddy. My kid is a trooper. But hey, that's my Halloween episode. What'd you think? Did I miss anything? Is there a Halloween item that I overlooked? I hope not, because if there is, I'll have to go and buy it. But I hope you enjoyed this spooky rendition of Move Over Kids. And, you know, guys, please comment below. Let me know what you're doing for Halloween, if you liked the holiday themed episode, and if you did, maybe I'll do one for Thanksgiving and Christmas and 4th of July, Flag Day, who knows, maybe this will become a thing. It's dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this channel with a friend, hit that bell for notifications, and of course, thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell me why though, because I'm a big boy, I can handle it. Have a great day, and of course, happy Halloween!